Hey GlamFam, welcome to today's video. We're going to play with some new eyeshadow. I have the new Goss Smoky Quartz Eyeshadow Palette. I'm Kristi. If you're new here, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and click that post notification bell. Join our beautiful GlamFam. We're here every Friday and Sunday, and we'd love for you to become part of our family. Please give this video a huge thumbs up when you guys hit the like button and when you comment below. It really does help my videos out. You can follow me at Kristi Allure on Instagram, on TikTok, Kristi Allure, and check out my merch, glamourouslifecollections.com. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright GlamFam, let's jump right into this. I'm so excited to test this out on camera. I know Cynthia's wanted me to review this and create an eyeshadow look with you, and I had already ordered it. So this is the new Goss Smoky Quartz Eyeshadow Palette, another addition to his other eyeshadow palettes. Now, I don't own all of his palettes. I actually only own like the blue tone one, and I'll show you right there. I did a video. You can check out that video, but that's the only other Goss eyeshadow palette I have. You guys know I'm already a fan of all his brushes. I just use them in pretty much all my videos. But I was really excited for this one. And typically I don't go for more of those purplish tone type colors, but on an everyday basis, I like them, but I like it better than pink shadows. As you guys know, I'm not a big fan of pink shadows. So I love that there is some depth to this, but it also creates a very like wearable smoky eye look. And I will utilize every single color in this palette. I actually already used that middle color as my nose contour. I think it was a beautiful shade. And I kind of used like that yellow tone color to really kind of just shape out my nose. It is such a softening powder. These are just made for mature eyes. They have a little bit heftier of a price point at $55, but you get quite a bit of product. That's a large pan size, and this is such a great essential palette for any age group, but especially for mature women that don't want to play with too much color, that want to create kind of a smoky eye, but a more age appropriate, more wearable smoky eye, especially if you're over 50 or over 60. I'm 44 if you're new to my channel, and I just love all shadows. I love bright, bold shadows. I love natural shadows. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this palette. We're gonna create more of a wearable smoky eye today. This luxury eye palette in Smoky Quartz features 6 essential eyeshadow shades in matte, satin, and shimmer finishes. It's infused with smooth blend emollients and micronized pigments. Wayne's custom eyeshadow formula blends with the lightest touch. There are no special techniques needed, and he really does stress that with his eyeshadow palettes, which makes it so wearable for any age, but especially for all of my mature skin ladies like myself. So about the shades, shade 1 is the top left. That's a soft cream with a matte finish. I absolutely love that. That is like the most essential shade you can ever ask for in a palette. It is a perfect color tone, undertone. It is just pure perfection. Shade 2, which is the top middle one, is neutral taupe with a matte finish. Again, I use that as a contour. It is a beautiful multi-purpose shade. It is everything I could ever ask for in a transition shade. Then we have shade 3, which is on the top right, and that's a deep gray brown with a satin finish. Satin finishes are good. It's not a metallic finish, it's a satin finish, and it's a really nice way to smooth out any choppiness you have. So let's just say you were having like a blotchy effect. If you take a satin shadow like that, it really smooths out the shade. So I love that he included that in this palette. Shade 4, which is on the bottom left, is a warm brown with a matte finish. Shade 5, which is the bottom middle, is a deep burgundy with a matte finish. And then we have shade 6 on the bottom right, which is a sparkling warm taupe with a shimmer finish. Now, this is not going to give you that metallic punch. This is more of like a topper shade with a little bit more oomph and base in it. So I appreciate that. A lot of topper shades these days don't really give you much, and I love the sparkly finish you get with this. I did already prep my eyes, and I have the Dominique Cosmetics You guys, this is just my ultimate favorite eyeshadow base right now. It's the best, and you use the smallest amount. So I will flip up a card right there of me applying this on a different video when I did the Dominique, but you can buy this at Beautylish. It's such an affordable price point. It's really easy to utilize. So I did already put that on, and then I set it down with my, if I can find it, my Viseart powder. You guys, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. My eyeshadow looks just are perfect when I set down my eyeshadow bases with this. It's a very micronized, very micro thin. It's just perfection. It literally smooths out in the most beautiful and incredible way. So I put that on with my Bdellium tools, and this is the 788. This is the Mastro series, and I really love this series. I've been using a lot of this on my eyes or on my face lately, the brushes. So I just set it down with that, and I just did a very light amount because we are gonna take that and put it all over the eyelid. So I'm gonna use my Sonia G, and this is the Worker 3. You guys already know, this is just my ultimate brush right here. You can buy this at Beautylish. When it's in stock, it's always out of stock. So we're just gonna put that all over the eyelid and just really create a nice soft focus effect to begin with, a nice little base canvas. And then we're gonna pull that in here. This brush is so smoothing. I really, really believe that brushes make a huge difference in your makeup application, especially for mature skin, because we really need brushes that are not going to disturb the wrinkles in our eyes and the texture, and that's what this does. That is a beautiful color, and if you really want to just use this and don't use the shimmer, you can take like this rougher brush, rougher 21, and more tightly, any kind of tightly packed brush like that, and I'm just dipping back into that cream shade. And what you could do is build it up more with a brush like that, and that will just give you more pigment there. It is very smoothing. You can take that on the top of your eyelids or where your brow bone is. It's so beautiful. And then we are gonna use my favorite Wayne Goss brushes. So I have, let's see here, I've got a few of them I wanna use. I have a ton of Wayne Goss brushes, but let's start off with these for right now. Now we're gonna dip into this transition shade, and that's again that middle taupe matte color. It is, like I said, it's perfection. It is, I don't even have to dip into my bronzer with this palette because I have this shade right here, which is perfect. It is just so pretty. I'm taking this on my Wayne Goss. I'm not sure what number this one is. I think it says number 7. I don't even know if this is available anymore, but I will put all the brushes on the screen like I always do. So we're gonna take that into this little crease right here and just create a nice, beautiful, soft transition shade. And you can also do it with a brush like this. We'll dip into this in just a second. These are his newer edit brushes. This is number 5, and I also love my smaller one, which is, and I talk about these brushes a lot, number 7, so good. These are so good, but just because I wanna cover a little bit more territory, I'm just gonna use this one first. So pretty, you guys. Oh my gosh, that shade is just perfection. And then I could take like a brush like this, his Edit number 5 brush, and really kind of get really tight into that crease, really building up that matte taupe color. And then bring it into the nose contour with that. I love this brush because it allows you, with that really nice tip right there, to really build up the color in the crease. Oh, this brush is incredible. All of his brushes are insanely good. If you haven't tried his brushes, you have to. They are so good. They are so soft. I probably even reach for these, like the eyeshadow one or the blender type ones, more than any brush I own. I'm just really softening out. I like to take my Sigma E40 and just blend. I don't have anything on this brush. I just like to blend it out even more, and it just creates a nice smooth effect. Another brush I really like doing that with is my Chikuhodo blending brush. This is part of the Z series. This one is like the most softest brush I own. It is just incredible. And I just take that. I don't have anything on this brush. I'm just literally blending out any edges that we have. Sometimes by pulling in some of that color right there, you're just softening out that edge right there, just allowing us to start building and getting into something smokier. But you can stop right here. You can apply his mascara. You guys, if you haven't tried the Wayne Goss mascara, I don't know what you're doing, because it is literally the most incredible mascara, especially for us girls with more almond shaped eyes, where you have to make sure that the mascara doesn't get everywhere. I think this is perfect for my girls with hooded eyes, almond shaped eyes. This is just the most incredible, and it's waterproof. So thank you, Wayne Goss, for coming out with, because that's the only mascara besides my MAC Extended Giga Black. Those are the only mascaras I love. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. You can pop on that Wayne Goss mascara, be out the door, and have a very wearable, natural, just soft glam look. But we are gonna build it up, because you know how we do it on my channel. All right, so now I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade just so you guys can see how that one builds up on its own. And I want a little bit smaller brush for this. So I'm gonna take actually this Wayne Goss number 19 brush. It's a really nice small brush, and I don't want this to go all over the place. So we're gonna take that just like a, I don't know what it is. It's like a really warm, I guess matte brown is how he describes it, but it almost has like a purplish undertone to it. We're just gonna take that right there. That's a perfect brush to use to really create a nice tightly packed smoky eye right there. And don't worry, we always blend out the edges. We're just kind of placing the color in there for right now. I'm pulling that one all the way in like that, like a windshield wiper motion. Do you see that? Oh, they just blend like a dream. These are incredible. This is such an incredible formula. I'm gonna have to pick up his other palettes, the other ones, because I'm so amazed by this formula. I'm gonna be honest, like for me, I like those punchy metallics. So although this is pretty, it's not really my cup of tea. I think it's pretty to put on top of metallics, but for me, I just like those more punchy metallics, but that's just my, my preference. But for more mature ladies, I can understand why he did that type of shade, because that might just be too much for mature ladies. But Wayne, do a little bit more metallic if you want to. I love that. I think he'd create such a beautiful formula doing that. For some of us that still like a lot of glitter. All right, now we're gonna take this, let's see, where did we do? Where's that Wayne Goss brush I was just using? That would be nice. So I think this is the number 7 brush, the first brush we were using. We're gonna go back into that middle transition shade, and we're just gonna kind of start softly diffusing out the edges. Do you see how that just blended to perfection? I mean, can we talk about that? Oh, this is so good. This is even good for no matter what age you are, but just for people who have a hard time blending out shades. Like, you're not gonna have a hard time with this one. This is so pretty. It's just so easy. You can get this shadow done in like minutes. Like, that's how easy it is. And this would be a great one just to take on vacation. I think this is an all-season palette. It looks good in the spring, summer, and fall. You can really just create a color story using just the top 3 shades. You can even just do just the bottom 3 shades. I mean, there's so many different opportunities. We're gonna utilize all the colors. I am just gonna kind of build as if we were just using a certain section of this, and then just keep building just to show you guys. So we're gonna go in with that satin, dark chocolate, beautiful brown. And we're gonna take that one onto my Wayne Goss number 6 brush. That's a perfect edit brush. And we're gonna take that dark satin brown on that. And we're just gonna place that one really tight right there. Ooh, ooh, that's pretty. Now, this is more natural hair brushes, so if you went in with a synthetic brush, that's gonna give you even more punch. But we are just trying it with his brushes first. I do want to see what a more synthetic version would do. So let's take this Sigma E42. This is more of like a, you know, a dense but still blendable type brush, but it's synthetic. And I'll just show you guys the difference, what you can do with this. So we'll take that chocolate brown satin again and just pop that in. Now remember, a shade like this is not going to give you a ton of pigment. It's just giving you some depth, but it allows you to really smooth out. Now let's take that purple one, but I'm going to take that one onto my Sonia G brush. This is the Mini Booster. And this is probably one of the deepest matte shades. It's going to give a little bit more punch to the look. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful shade. So there's definitely more purple depth to that one. Oh, that's insanely pretty. These are the kind of purples I like. Oh my gosh. Again, just more wearable, but just creates that drama in the most exquisite way. All right, let's take this Wayne Goss. I don't even know what number this is, but it's just one of his really tiny ones. And I'm gonna actually place that purplish shade, that darker one, right here. I'm gonna create more of a halo eye because that's just my preference. Now, if you want to make it more cat eye and more exotic looking, don't do that. Keep that lighter and keep the darkest portion on the outside. But because I like my eyes to look rounder, I like doing it this way. And it's just preference. It's however you want to do it. That's just the way I do it. I love this brush for packing, where it packs and blends at the same time, but it gives you that small little area to do that with. Wow, this is really beautiful. So this is a totally different color scheme, but just as amazing as the Anastasia one I just did. You can check out, I just did the look on the new Anastasia Nouveau palette. It is so beautiful, but it's a totally different palette, a totally different color scheme. I think by far these are the standout ones for me, just because I think the texture is amazing. Seriously, you guys, if you haven't tried his shadows, you've got to pick up his shadows. Now I'm gonna take that dark brown satin and I'm just gonna go around the, oh yeah, see, this is perfect. Do you see how like it was a little choppy right there? Only because of I was being sloppy with it, not because of the shadow. But now I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna smooth it out with that darker brown color. That's satin finishes always do that. They don't place a lot of pigment on their own, but they're the perfect shades to blend out your other shades, your matte shades with. Oh, that's insanely gorgeous. All right, just building it back up again with that dark purple. Just working in steps. Now we're gonna go back into that shade right there. There's no names, I think they're just numbers. And we're just gonna go around the edges. So I got a little messy with that. I'm gonna go back to my Sigma E40 and just blend out the edge. I don't have any product on this. Going back into that transition shade, that middle one. I'm just gonna go over it, like as if I was doing my bronzer. See, that's perfect. You don't even have to have your bronzer for this because you've got that perfect transition shade. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like on its own. I think a shade like this is much better to use your finger, this beautiful shimmer shade. So we're just going to take that onto my middle finger because that has the most pressure point. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like on its own. So again, there's not a lot of base underneath that. So that's why I wish there was just a little bit more base behind it, but it's pretty. It's a nice way to subtly do that. But you know, your girl is just not a subtle type of girl. So I am gonna try this out. We're gonna take this, this is a new line from, it's called About Face from Halsey. I'm a big fan of Halsey's music. So this is at Ulta. It's a very affordable brand and this is a beautiful color. I'll put the color right there. I think this is like the lightest metallic type color. I think it's called Lotus Leaf. It is stunning. I'll show you guys the up close shots and what the swatch looks like. It is really pretty. So I haven't tried this on the eye yet. I just swatched it, but let's see. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So we'll just kind of put that right there. and just kind of place that in the middle because that's where we're gonna lay down the color. I like that it's easy to use. Another one you could possibly use too would be Milky Way from Danessa Myricks. You guys already know what a color fix fanatic I am. This is such a beautiful color, this Milky Way, and that would be gorgeous underneath. Let me show you guys what it looks like. Do you see that? So you can put that, like, oh my gosh, that just intensified it even more. And then what we can do is put the topper on there. Oh my dear Lord. Oh my dear Lord. That is so beautiful. Oh, I haven't used Milky Way in so long. All right, now I just need to get a little bit tighter packed brush just to kind of blend that out a little. I'm just gonna show you guys by putting a base down what that color can do. I'm gonna put a little bit more of Halsey right here. It's a nice little shadow stick for the price point too. Now this is just extra, you don't have to do this, but I just wanted to give myself a little bit more base to show you guys what this can look like on top of it. So I put it on both fingers, but oh my gosh, yeah. Do you see how much that intensified that? Oh, it's so pretty. Yeah, it's a beautiful topper shade though. Oh my gosh. And then I'm just gonna go back into that Sonia G brush that we were using with the darker shade. All right, I'm gonna take this Wayne Goss 27S, one of my favorite colors to do an inner corner. We're just gonna take that vanilla shade, and we're just gonna put that first on the brow bone, just to kind of re-highlight that area right there. So pretty. I love this brush for doing that, and then for also getting into the inner corners. And we're just gonna lay this down as a base, and then we're gonna use his highlighter for the inner corner highlight. You can do that topper shade as well, but I would prefer to do more the highlighter shade. So I'm gonna go into this palette right here. This is the Coral Rose Weightless Blush Palette. If you guys haven't tried his blushes and his highlighters, they're incredible. I do have a video on it, you can check it out. We'll use his blush today too, but this highlighter is insanely pretty. Do you see how that just really was a nice little punch right there? I always use my highlighter for inner corner anyway. And then what you could do is take this topper shade right there and go on top of that just to really make it bling a little bit more. All right, going back in, I'm just gonna kind of blend out that edge right there, mixing it into the darker color. I didn't put anything extra on the brush, but beautiful. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna go back in and I'm just gonna take his Wayne Goss number 16 brush. All right, now I'm gonna take his mascara. I'm gonna prep my eyes and then do my lashes off camera. And you could just wear mascara and be done. Or you can do what I do and put lashes on. Sorry you guys, I don't know if that sun was protruding in like that. I had the window open, but yeah, that's not good. I think what we're gonna do is take my KVD Anxonite brown. I think this will be a beautiful color with this palette. But first I wanna go in with this Chikuhodo brush, just like a little pointed brush. Always, again, I put it on the bottom. I'm just gonna take that transition shade first. I do have the Huda Beauty concealer on today, you guys. Obsessed with it. It's become like my #1 concealer. You can check out my video. I just did a review on it. I'm obsessed with that concealer now. Just creating a nice transition area. I kind of like doing this shade first. I used to do his last, but lately I've been just liking to do it first. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit darker, a little bit tighter of a brush, and we're gonna take, probably do this one first, warm matte brown, and just kind of start smoking that out, and then I'll do the liner. Ooh, so pretty. All right, now to draw in some depth and make it more dramatic, we're gonna take these KVD eyeliners, which are like my favorite liners of all time. gonna twist that up. This Anxonite brown is perfect. You could even do like a purplish eggplant color would be pretty. I love that these liners give enough like creaminess, but not too much, where you can, it gives you leeway time, but it also sets in nicely, and this does not budge. I wore this the other day for like, oh, I don't know, more than 16 hours. And let me tell you guys, it did not budge. Ooh, pretty. How perfect is that color with this look? Oh yeah, this was the perfect color. So Anxonite KVD Tattoo Gel Liner Pencils. All right, now I'm gonna go back into this darker color, same little Morphe small brush. Now we're gonna go back into the warm brown color. Of course, I'm dropping things. Just go on the edge of that. Beautiful. Ooh, so pretty. Now we're gonna take my Wayne Goss number 7 brush back into that transition first shade. Now I'm gonna go back into this darker brown right here, that satin, on this rougher number 3 brush. We're just gonna kind of deepen out this edge right there. Going back onto the top section, I'm just gonna soften things out. Going into my Wayne Goss number 6, I'm gonna go back into that satin color. That satin color is so pretty. Back into the Wayne Goss transition. All right, you guys, so this is how the final look turned out. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I had some issues, and I think I'm allergic to one of the shades in here. So my eyes are like constantly watering right now, like to the point where I couldn't hold on to the shadow and it just kept disappearing on me. I don't have that problem too often, but there are some dyes and some, I mean, I just talked about this in the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. There are some dyes and some shades that affect our eyes, and a lot of the times purples can do that. There are some pigments in purples that can really irritate the eye, and unfortunately that's what it's doing to my eyes. I love this palette though, it is so beautiful. So if you don't have that problem, I would suggest trying this palette out because it is really gorgeous. I mean, those 2 shades are like perfection to me, so I'm so sad because I think it's one of these 2 shades right here. That one's really pretty, but I almost wish that was a matte, a complete matte, to give me that depth, and it would have given me more of a reason to want to reach for this palette more. But unfortunately, I have shades like that in my Viseart palette that I don't feel like this is a palette that is going to be as useful to someone like me, because this shimmer right here doesn't pack enough punch for me, and then unfortunately those 2 just watered up my eyes to the point where I just literally couldn't hold on to the shadow and it just kept disappearing. So I ended up having to go in with this palette right here, which has become one of my favorite palettes. I'm gonna do a look with this off camera. This is Beauty Bakery at Ulta. I used to love their powder a lot. But this is their Chosen Bun eyeshadow palette, and these shadows are insanely gorgeous. And I ended up going in with vanilla and putting that in the center just to kind of give it a little bit more punch. But I had to take that dark brown and really do a lot of filling in, and I just got extremely frustrated. So, and it's not the, I mean, it just happens sometimes, and that, I know there was a Dior purple shadow a while back that did that to me. So I noticed that a lot of the times it's the purples. I don't know why, but there's just something in those dyes that do that, that irritate my eye. So unfortunately, it's a really beautiful palette. It ended up turning out really pretty, but I can see it up close. So, and there's just missing gaps. And the only thing I was able to use to really fill in the gaps was my Victoria Beckham pencil. There's something about this that really helps create pigment, and it was the only thing that was sticking. So it's so unfortunate, you guys. Other than that, I think if you've had your eyes out on this palette, it's definitely worth giving it a try. And it is a beautiful color story. I really love the color story. So I'm just really sad about these 2 shades, but those 2 shades are just chef's kiss. They're perfection, absolute perfection. He did an amazing job with this palette, but unfortunately I just have other palettes that don't give me those allergic reactions that I love just as much. So for me, it's kind of, I'm gonna have to, just because the color story, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. But for me personally, being able to use it is gonna be a 3 out of 5, just because there was really only 3 shades in there that I felt were very, very workable. And then there were the other 2 that just irritated me. So sorry, Wayne Goss. I really love his brand and I really love his brushes, but unfortunately those 2 shades were just not enough for me to go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna reach for this constantly. But I do recommend, if you have mature skin and you don't have any allergic reactions to purple shadows, and you never know, everybody's eyes are different, so just keep that in mind. Give it a try, because it is very, 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 very beautiful, and I can't even stress enough how much I loved the color story. It is stunning. So that's my final thoughts. Let me know in the comment section if this was something you were interested in. I know Cynthia's wanted to pick that up, so Cynthia's, do pick it up because it is a beautiful color story. Try it out. You never know. You just never know. So comment below. Let me know what else you guys want to see. I love hearing from you guys. It was something I had already ordered before she even asked me, so it was really perfect timing, and I wanted to get that out right away. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're new here, before you go, please remember to hit that subscribe button and click that post notification bell. Join our beautiful Glam Fam. We're here every Friday and Sunday, and we'd love for you to become part of our Glam Fam community. And please give this video a huge thumbs up when you guys hit the like button, and when you comment below. As always, it really does help my videos out. Follow me at Kristi Allure on Instagram, on TikTok, Kristi Allure, and check out my Rich Glamorous Life collections, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys, love you.